So as you can imagine, anytime I post anything from the OM systems, OM1, they come out of the woodwork saying how bad Micro Four Thirds is and how poor it is compared to everything else on the market, which I find comical actually, but you know it's going to happen. But as I was going through some of my stuff this morning on Google, my Google Photos popped up, and photos from 2000, 2003, 2006, in that range. And I'm looking at the images going, what the hell I shoot this on? And like, there's cameras from, obviously 2000 and up, but every image, I think the largest image, and there's only one or two, one 10 megapixel, which was from the Canon 1D Mark III, and one 12 megapixel from the Nikon D3S, maybe, give or take. Every other one is 6 megapixels or less. I even have one from Fuji's 3 megapixel FinePix Pro 1. There's so many different ones, but the majority of these images that I'm going to show you really quick are 6 megapixel or below. All this work was published both in magazines, on billboards, on posters, in brochures for the entertainer. So I just want to show you some of these because every time I hear that this camera isn't good enough for someone, I look at these and go, what would you have done back then? Because this is 10, 20 times the camera that those cameras were. And the other thing is, I tried one of the special features of this, the focus stacking. Now, I've never used it before, didn't read directions. I literally went into the menu and just turned it on because next door they asked me, could you do a nail picture really quick? So I did a nails picture, and then I turned it on and went, oh, wait a second. So when I brought it over, I'm thinking, it's not the greatest image, because I just shot it on the fly. But then I thought, this can't be this easy. So I brought over one of the lenses and just put it on my table here and just shot one shot. And I went, wait a second. Now, granted, I'm sure it could do even better than what I'm doing because it is literally my very first time for any kind of, special feature photography in this camera. But wow, was it easy. And I was using the 12 to 40, again, was completely shocked on how close I can get to my object. And I didn't even go as close as I could with the shots I'm going to show you, which is mind-boggling to me. But anyway, let me go through some of the images that I saw, that I found on Google that are from these, 2, 3, 6, and 10 megapixel cameras, and one from the 12 megapixel cameras. And then tell me how bad this is and how worthless it is. Because, yeah, it's pretty damn good. Thanks for watching as always. Now, I'm not showing you these images to blow my own horn. These images are from all over the world. They've been published all over the world. They've been in magazines, on billboards, used for every media you can imagine. I've done television shows, you'll see in here. Just everything you can imagine, I've shot on 6 megapixel and below images. There's one 10 megapixel image in here and one 12 megapixel camera. I think it was the Canon EOS 1D Mark III and the Nikon D3S. The rest are 6 megapixel or below. No issues. Now, these cameras had no dynamic range. It was like maybe 7 or 8. Autofocus was horrible. High ISO noise was just unbelievable. But this is what we had to use, and it worked. So when I hear Micro Four Thirds isn't good enough, the sensor is too small, the noise is too much, it just makes me laugh. Coming from this, like, what would you have done back then? Just say, no, I can't shoot that because the new cameras aren't available yet. You didn't have a choice. These are the cameras you had. They worked. They created beautiful images. But today, Micro Four Thirds is not good enough for you. Doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, these images are, I'm proud of every single one of these. This last image I'm going to show you, this was done on the Fuji FinePix Pro 1, 3 megapixel camera. These are impressive to me. I don't know. And here's this computational, the first one I ever did with the nails, and I was blown away by it. I thought it was weird, so I just shot this lens shot. Really impressive to me. I think this is amazing that this camera can do this. And again, this was my first try, so I know it could be a lot better than this, but I didn't do any setup. I just did it and tried it for the first time. Very, very cool.